Hello everyone, this is MystieGaming and welcome to our final episode of the Dinosaurs Reborn Minecraft series. I know it's a little bittersweet, but I have big plans for today's episode, so I hope it makes up for it. But first things first, let me get out of F5. We need to have a little discussion. It's quite a sad one. Again, I hate starting off my videos with sad news, but both of our velociraptors died. So I think what happened was I was rewatching the footage and Bandit 2.0 was actually tamed to me and Bite wasn't. So Bite killed Bandit and then Bite drowned in the river, which is why there is no more river. But I am gonna hatch 2 more velociraptors. We're gonna give it another go. They will be Bite 2.0 and Bandit 3.0. So hopefully this will be a little bit better. 1, 2. Okay, and they're both tamed. I don't know why they didn't tame the first time, but they can run around in their enclosure. Now, the plans for today's episode are kind of simple. Well, not super simple, but in this space right here, it's big and open, and I want to create an aquarium, and we actually are going to make 2 big tanks because I was getting a little suspicious of how big these guys were getting, especially in comparison to like the size of the other dinosaurs at similar ages. So I went into creative, and these guys are actually massive. They are probably like 10 blocks long. So we are going to upgrade their tank, and we are also going to build a tank for the Tylosaurus, which is, it's not as big as the Mosasaurus, but it is definitely really big. So I think it's going to take up the vast majority of this space. And the Dunkleosteus, I think that's what's in there, they are going to be probably about this much of the enclosure. And I'm not sure what materials I can actually make it out of, but I think that I'm going to use the clear glass from the Reborn mod and maybe the reinforced bricks, because I think they look really good and they definitely match with the theme of the velociraptors over here. So let's get straight into it. I'm really excited. Let me think. Let's do the Dunkleosteus enclosure first. So let's do some resource gathering. Hello everyone. Apparently I am terrible at remembering to record the transition clips in between gathering resources and starting and building everything. So I hope y'all enjoyed the time lapse for the Dunkleosteus enclosure and the rest of the video. So I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I think that this aquarium came out to be absolutely perfect. So let's get these guys in here. I have never used this, but when I was looking through JEI earlier, I found an aquatic cage from the Reborn mod. Oh, nice. Nice and simple, and we're gonna put them in here because they have already outgrown the tiny little pond right by the park entrance. Oh, look at that. Much better. Oh, nope. Number 2. number 3, and number 4. Oh, perfect. This is definitely a much better size enclosure for them. So the next enclosure that we are going to build is for the Tylosaurus, which I am going to need a lot more resources for because it needs to be probably about as big as this section over here, because that dinosaur is about the size of the, well, it's probably about half the size of the Mosasaurus. And first thing I need to do is a bit more resource gathering because this right here is definitely not enough. I was moving the resources and one of the Dunkleosteus phased through the wall and died. The other 3 are okay, but oh my goodness. But on that note, I did get all the resources for the Tylosaurus habitat, and I got the actual Tylosauruses themselves. So, I hope y'all enjoy that time-lapse. Unfortunately, the time-lapse for this one broke. I think it's because I kept having to pause and restart it because I kept running out of materials. But let's spawn in our Tylosaurs. In here, they're going to be really tiny because they're going to be babies. But this is a bigger dinosaur, so hopefully they'll be decently sized. 1, 2. Okay. That's a really pretty color, and I'm about to drown. Okay. Let's see how they look. Probably could have gone a bit smaller considering we're not going to see them fully grown in here, but I love the coloring on them. It's so pretty. And I think they look actually really good in this enclosure. But as I have most likely mentioned, this is the final episode. So let's finish it off with a little world tour, if I can, speak in a complete sentence. So we are actually going to start this tour over at the village / starter base / remake of the starter base. This series has kind of been a wild ride, but over here is our kind of actual house. It contains like the kitchen and like our bedroom and enchanting setup. And this season I really wanted to focus on details and like interior decorating in my builds specifically. Then over here we have our storage room / warehouse. I'm really proud of this interior. I love all the plants and the carpet. I had to get a little bit creative because you can't place 2 double chests next to each other in this version, which is really annoying. But over here we have our blacksmith, which contains all of our Tinker's Construct smeltery and all of the little tables and things that we needed to get our awesome tools that definitely came in handy this season. I did so much off-camera mining and resource gathering. It was kind of a little insane. But over here we have kind of our barn, which our animals are actually right out through here. We just got cows and sheep in the end, but this houses all of our automation for crops and saplings. And this setup right here was to create the Phytogrow, which pretty much makes this machine work. And I ended up just stealing a bunch of the sand from here for the aquariums, which actually came in handy. But over here is our lab where, of course, all of our dinosaurs were made. The basement doesn't really have much. I wanted to leave it open for some automation that never actually got done. But as you can see, lots of all the sciencey machines up here. lots of storage for all of the like byproducts that come from this process. And finally over here we kind of have this little garden. Originally I was going to automate all of the resources, but this was always intended to be a shorter series, just until Fossils and Archaeology updated to 1.18.2, which it has, and I'm super excited about. But up over there is our mine. We're not actually going to go over there because that's pretty much the entirety of the village base. I'm really proud of it. I feel like it's really immersive to walk around in, like in here. There are some things like I could have done better, like I could have put a tree here, but that's okay. And let's head over to the dinosaur park. That is always so loud. But this is our park entrance. It is really the only thing in the dinosaur park side that I built in creative first, which is why it doesn't really match the rest of the base. Okay. It has all of these ponds, which housed the coelacanths and originally the Nucleosteus, but those have been moved over to a bigger enclosure. So let's start at the herbivore side. So of course over here we have our Triceratops. They're probably the oldest dinosaurs on the park because I had the least issues with them. Like disappearing or dying mysteriously. So they are awesome and loud. But over here we have our Pachycephalosauruses, which are thriving. I kind of wish I had made more, but you know, it's okay. They have a nice big enclosure all to themselves. And then, of course, over here we have the stuff we did today, including the Nucleosteus enclosure, which I think they look so much better in, and our Tylosaur habitat, which I don't even know where they are currently. There's one. They're so small. Okay. So now the velociraptors. This enclosure was a hot mess. We lost so many of them just to bugs and glitches, and it was kind of really sad. But Bite 2.0 and Bandit 3.0 are in there. Bite is over here chilling. Yeah. And I don't know where Bandit is. She's in there somewhere. So that is everything. That is the entire park. To me it feels like I did a lot, but it really isn't all that much. So the next series, because this one is over, this is the finale, it's going to be Fossils and Archaeology on 1.18.2. I'm super excited. I've been testing out the new mod pack a lot. But I just want to thank you for all the support on this series. Some of the videos blew up massive, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I hope you all have a nice rest of your day. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and goodbye!